What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is your Monday Night Raw post-show review on May 16, 2022. Now, tonight's show is actually not bad. We actually got a lot of interesting news to talk about as well. We have OMOS versus Bobby Lashley steel cage match, and then we got a couple matches announced as well. But it looks like one particular match was canceled due to Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out, leaving their championships on John Laurinaitis' table. So we're just gonna get into that real quick first, and then we're gonna start the post-show review. Now, the particular match I'm talking about was this six-pack challenge. Winner earns Raw's Women's Championship opportunity and possibly a Hell in a Cell. Now we got Sasha Banks, Naomi, the Women's Tag Team Champion, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Doudrop, and Nikki ASH. Now those two right there is hardly on TV, so I wonder how do they feel about this whole situation. But let's get into these two articles that I found on Twitter. Now I don't know if this is legit or not, but Sean Ross South posted as well, so it has to be legit, right? So let's just get into the first article. Okay, this is the first article. It said when Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the area this afternoon, they was informed of their participation in the main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw. During the broadcast, they walked into WWE Head of Talent Relations, John Laurinaitis' office with their suitcases in hand, placed their tag team championship belts on his desk, and walked out. They claimed they weren't respected enough as tag team champions, and even thought they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct. Even though they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct a match, they claimed they was uncomfortable in the ring with two of their opponents, even though they had matches with those individuals in the past with no consequence. Monday Night Raw is a scripted live TV show whose characters are expected to perform the requirements of their contract. We regret we was unable to deliver as advertised tonight's main event. Now, I don't want to say too much on this, but I feel like, first off, there's no tag team division for the women's. That's what the first problem that got there. That's the first thing that caught me, because WWE shouldn't have made the women's tag team championships in the first place. I don't know why Sasha Banks and Naomi is complaining about that when they know there's no tag teams for them to defend their championships against. Second of all, I don't know why Naomi is doing this, following Sasha Banks, because she doesn't have as much as star power as she does. No disrespect to Naomi. She's good in the ring. She's incredible in the ring. I'm not a fan of her, but she could prove that she's worth it of being, a competitive in the ring, that she deserves TV time. With that being said, I don't know what they expect. I mean, they got an opportunity right there. Of course, they wasn't going to win, but, I mean, the women's tag team champions, they said they wasn't respected enough. Like, what? I mean, how much respect do you want? I mean, you guys don't have legitimate opponents for the women's tag team championships. They put y'all on TV. They made the championship feel like it meant something. So I just don't understand, what more did they want? Did they want to go to NXT, where there's already an NXT Women's Tag Team Champion down there? I just don't get it. I'm not sticking with WWE in this situation. I'm just saying it's mind blowing how they, getting upset over the simplest thing. I don't know what script they had to follow that they disagree with. I just find the mind bizarre. I just find this whole thing bizarre. The second article. Okay, the second article. Raw main event changed after talents walked out of taping by Mike Johnson. The main event for tonight's Monday Night Raw broadcast changed at the last minute to Becky Lynch versus Asuka after two talents walked out late in the day before Raw went on the air in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. The word making in the rounds. The word making the rounds backstage at the taping is that Sasha Banks took issue with some of the planned creative for the original main event, a Raw six-pack challenge to determine the Demeter main event. I don't know what's going on with me today. To Demeter and Bianca Belair's net challenger at Hell in a Cell. Banks had a meeting with Vince McMahon, and the belief among those who heard from it was that when Mr. McMahon didn't choose to change direction on the plans, Banks wouldn't back down on her issue and made the decision to lead the taping. Naomi, her WWE Women's Tag Team Championship partner, left with Banks, even though she was also booked in the main event match. WWE quickly shot several new segments with Adam Pearce and Becky Lynch to instead set up Asuka versus Lynch as the new main event. Now, I just feel like, I would say, and actually, Corey Graves actually mentioned something about them walking out of the building unprofessionally. And I gotta say, it is unprofessionally, especially for Naomi, because she gotta realize that her husband is Jimmy Uso, and she don't have that much star power as well. I just don't understand. I mean, I'm not saying they can't bet on themselves, put themselves first. I'm just saying it's kind of weird. But, I'm not backstage with them, so I don't know much about it. Hopefully we get more information on that. That is the two articles that I've seen on Twitter. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let's just get into the show, the main post-show review. So basically we get MVP and OMOS coming out, and they kiss off the show. They cut a promo. And then a little later on, Bobby Lashley comes out as well. And as he makes his way to the ring, as you see in the picture, Cedric Alexander is attacking Bobby Lashley from the behind. What's his problem with Bobby Lashley? Does he not know that MVP doesn't want him around anymore? What's his obsession with trying to join MVP again when he clearly said last week that he don't want to be with him? I just don't understand it. It's mind blowing, and he just grinning and smiling in the second picture right there. I just like. Nevertheless, Bobby Lashley versus OMOS kiss off the show in a steel cage match. And it was a good, it wasn't nothing really new, except they were just in a cage match. Technically, MVP kept poking Bobby Lashley in the throat with his cane going through the steel cage. And then, in the corner, he kept slapping Bobby Lashley in the corner. And Bobby Lashley grabbed his arm, and I guess he was choking him. And then Bobby Lashley, almost, he was just looking into the crowd, lost as he is, and he finally turns around, acknowledging what was going on, and then tries to go after Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley gets out the way and goes for the spear, and he almost won with a close 3, but it was a close 2. A close 3. And then eventually Bobby almost takes back control of the match. He gets Bobby Lashley on top of his shoulders. And he throws Bobby Lashley, not to the front of the stage, where the commentary table's at. He throws him over there, do a big boot. One point, Lashley was trying to escape. Cedric Alexander back in there again, trying to not mind his business. Bobby Lashley throws him into the ring over the cage. Eventually, almost got control of him again, throws him to where the stage is. And just throws him over the cage like Umaga did when he speared Umaga. Eventually Bobby Lashley gets up and just walk off, and he wins the match. I was just looking at her confused as a dummy, looking like, what's going on? What's going on? And it was just so funny because you would think that he would try to get Bobby Lashley, put him back in the ring, but that wasn't the case. So Bobby Lashley wins that match. It wasn't nothing you really can remember from it that you haven't already seen between these two guys. Okay, now this situation right here, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on right here. First, it was supposed to be Theory versus Mustafa Ali, but instead he gets the microphone and he calls out the Miz as a special guest referee, and then tells the other referee to get out the ring. Now he was about to start the match, but he gets back on the microphone and he said he would not be wrestling. Instead, VEER comes out, as you see in the picture, and now it's official: VEER versus Mustafa Ali with the Miz as the special guest referee. Now, to me, this was actually funny because the Miz is hilarious hilarious being in this position. With that being said, VEER dominated most of this match. Mustafa Ali tried to fight back. Theory pulls his leg. The Miz taking advantage, pushing him around and whatsoever, and that led to VEER getting the win over Mustafa Ali. And out of nowhere, here comes the Rey Mysterio. Here comes the Mysterios. They comes out and they save Mustafa Ali. They do suicide dive on VEER. Gets back in the ring. VEER just looking at them all crazy like, why's you guys still here? I took you guys out weeks ago. But that's good to see the Mysterios back on Raw. But eventually, what's next for them? You know, like, I don't find them no interest in them, to be honest. I feel like Dominant should have always started with NXT. But that's just me. We get a Becky Lynch segment and Adam Pearce segment, as you guys just heard me previous in the beginning of the video, where they talk about Adam Pearce and Becky Lynch quickly makes up a new segment. And that's actually good on both of their parts because, you know, when situations like this happen, they quickly hurry up and find a backup plan. So I actually liked it there. But yeah, they do a promo where it's official where it's gonna be Becky Lynch versus Asuka in the main event in a one contenders match. Whoever wins that match will go on to face Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell. Matt Riddle versus Jimmy Uso in a one-on-one match to their upcoming match this Friday for the Unification Tag Team match, when we know that's not gonna be the case. Now, I don't know where Randy Orton was at, but Matt Riddle was out there all by himself. But he still managed to get the win after Jey Uso tried to cheat by putting his feet on Jimmy Uso to help him try to get the win. With that being said, the referee got pissed off and was like, bro, I see your feet. Why is your feet on the ropes? And he ejected him. And I was laughing so hard because it looked like the referee wanted to throw hands. With that being said, Matt Riddle rolls up Jim Uso for the 3 count and rolls up out the ring for the win. So it wasn't, like I said, you know, we seen what these guys can do. And like, you know, we just want to see more at Hell in a Cell, which eventually we are going to get. We get a backstage segment with Liv Morgan, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor, what we all been asking for. Then we switch to the Judgment Day backstage segment. Now they talked about how they want to recruit AJ Styles. I'm not sure if I mistake me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what they was talking about. Eventually we get AJ Styles and Finn Balor teaming up for the first time on Monday Night Raw. They went on to take against Angel Garza and Humberto Carlito. It was a fun match for what it was. AJ Styles and Finn Balor got the win. We get a backstage segment with Kevin Owens, Chad Gable, and Otis. Now, like I said in one of my shorts, These guys are legit one of the best parts that I enjoy on Monday Night Raw. With that being said, they pull out a DNA test to see if this is really Ezekiel. But yeah, they have an upcoming match with Chad Gable and Ezekiel later on during the night. I still don't understand why do Kevin Owens care so much about whether it's Ezekiel or Elias. He's doing nothing but stressing himself out. We get a rematch between Alexa Bliss and Sonya Deville. I don't know if Sonya Deville wanted a rematch or not, but eventually she tried to cheat by taking off the ring post, like the turnbuckle, exposed turnbuckle or whatever. And it backfired on her because she did a spine buster on Alexa Bliss and went for the pin, but the referee trying to fist her, the exposed turnbuckle, right? And she's screaming, ref, what is you doing? And he like, oh, I got a job to do. Tries to go for the pin. Of course, Alexa Bliss kicks out and she hits the DDT for the win. So that was that, nothing new except her trying to cheat. Get a countdown to codyrhodes coming down in about an hour. Now this was legit. This is just something, to hype codyrhodes up. They going all in with codyrhodes. I'm glad to see that because, him betting on himself is going good so far. Hopefully they keep their promises. Eventually codyrhodes lays down to the ring, cuts another heartfelt promo, and then he challenges Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell in a Hell in a Cell match. And eventually Seth Rollins comes on the big screen, and guess what? He accepts the match. So we will be seeing Seth Rollins versus codyrhodes at Hell in a Cell in a Hell in a Cell match. Now I gotta say something about that because is they gonna be the main event of Hell in a Cell when the Usos and RK Bro open up Hell in a Cell? I mean, I don't see a problem with that, but who wins this match? That's my main concern. Who wins this match? But yeah, codyrhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins at Hell in a Cell in a Hell in a Cell match. I'm excited for that. codyrhodes been in Hell in a Cell his match in 2019, the Legacy versus DX. And Seth Rollins been in Hell in a Cell match with, I believe, Dean Ambrose, The Fiend, and I'm not sure who else. Yeah, but I'm excited to see that match as well. Hopefully, they go all out. Get the usually same Asuka promo as well. Ezekiel versus Chad Gable. Eventually, Ezekiel wins by a roll-up pin, and Kevin Owens and the Otis tries to get in the ring to attack Ezekiel, but Ezekiel escapes. This was a fun match for what it was. We get a Carmella and R-Truth reunion backstage. Okay, we get a Lacey Evans promo. I don't know if she's still a heel she's still a babyface or she's a heel, but she delivers the same promo, talking about herself. Now it's time for the main event, Asuka versus Becky Lynch for number one contender match, winner versus Bianca Belair at the Hell in a Cell match. Now this was a fun match as well. Becky Lynch got most of the control. Asuka takes back over control. But unfortunately, eventually, Becky Lynch was focused on Bianca Belair, running her mouth to Bianca Belair. Asuka tries to get her, but instead, Becky Lynch throws Asuka into Bianca Belair. Then she gets in the ring. I guess she tried to get an umbrella. I'm guessing she grabbed Asuka's umbrella and tried to hit her while the referee was distracted. And Asuka counters it, and out of nowhere she sprays green mist on Becky Lynch and goes for the win. And there you have it. Asuka will be facing Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's Championship. I thought, whoa, that's like the third time Becky Lynch got sprayed on by green mist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she got sprayed on by green mist. But that is your Monday Night Raw post show review. If you guys enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button, comment, and what was your favorite part of the show tonight, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hit that bell, post notification. I do post show reviews, and I do shorts as well, and I do reaction videos as well. If you are interested in any of that, please hit the subscribe button and show support. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.